Hello everybody and welcome back to another not applicable Formula 1 video. I hope that you are well and I hope you're ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. I also hope that you've seen the McLaren livery for this weekend along with their helmets. It is going to be a thing of beauty. Imagine Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris on the podium this weekend in their retro. Oh, it would just be absolutely sensational in my opinion. I'd also like to see Charles Leclerc on the podium as well, to be honest. But we're not talking about Monaco today. We'll get into that when it comes to the weekend. Today, I want to sort of bring you in. I want to discuss a little bit with you guys and see what you think in the comments down below about everybody's driver that they love to hate this season. Of course, I'm talking about Nikita Mazepin. He has become the focal point for negative energy on the grid, and not only for fans but mainly for the drivers on the grid. I think that Nikita Mazepin has pretty much annoyed every single driver on the grid, and I'm going to go through every single incident that I think has led to him just becoming already one of the most hated drivers. Like, I can't even think of a driver after 3 races, like Bahrain doesn't really count. He wasn't in the race for very long, was he? 3 races. And I think he's already annoyed at least 10 of the 19 drivers. Let me talk you through it. So, obviously, we have to start with Haas. And Mick Schumacher probably does not enjoy spending time with Nikita Mazepin. But I haven't put Mick on the list because he is an angel. His engineer is an angel. He is just trying to get through this year at Haas. And I'm hoping that he will move to Alfa Romeo next year and have a lovely time in a much, much better car with a much better teammate. Hopefully Kimi, I'm sort of thinking. But Nikita Mazepin, already on the track. I'm going to try and focus on the track because I don't want to be talking about, obviously, the Instagram incident with George Russell where he said he has a secret about him. And I don't want to talk about, obviously, last year where he hit Yuki Tsunoda with a podium sign, or the fact that he punched Callum Ilott in the face. And you know, all of those things happened, but they weren't on the track. So let's just focus on the track for today, as much as they are horrendous things that he has done, and already has pissed off 2, if not 3 drivers once Ilott comes in my opinion, next year, that are already on the grid. But focusing mainly on the track, I was rewatching some of the Grand Prix, and I realised he has got in the way, annoyed, aggravated so many drivers already. It started with Gio in Q1, overtaking in turn 1 and turn 2 when Gio was gearing up for a fast lap in Imola. And straight away, Gio comes on the radio. What is this guy doing? Honestly, this guy is so stupid. And, you know, it was early in the season. We'd already seen him spin in Bahrain. He was probably a little bit overexcited to actually be involved in the Imola qualifying rather than in a wall somewhere. So we gave him the benefit of the doubt. But then we move on to Portugal. There's the Latifi incident. And obviously, Latifi kind of blamed Mazepin for him spinning off in Imola. Honestly, I think that was Latifi's fault. This, on the other hand, in Portugal, again in Q1, where he just gets in the way. And Latifi calls him a dumbass by saying, this guy is an effing idiot. So now we've already got 2 drivers on the grid that think Nikita Mazepin is one of the stupidest drivers on the grid. And it just got from bad to worse when it came to Portugal, because after qualifying, we're into the race. We're watching Sergio Perez. And obviously he comes up to the blue flags. Does he let Sergio Perez pass? Of course not. He cuts in on him under blue flags, gets in the way, and Sergio Perez, he's a fairly chill guy. He's not really the kind of guy that goes out there and gets annoyed by many things. And I think he put it very succinctly when he just called Mazepin an idiot. Nothing more, nothing less, just an absolute idiot that Nikita Mazepin is. Luckily, it didn't affect his race too much, and Perez probably got over it as he finished pretty well in Portugal considering, but I think he'll be a little bit frustrated that continually blue flags seem to just not resonate with Nikita Mazepin. I think that's the thing that we're going to see slowly over the course of this video, that blue flags, I think maybe Nikita Mazepin just might not be able to see them because he really doesn't understand how they work. And that is really bad considering he is often sort of 2, 3, 5 laps down on everybody else who is in the race. we move forward to Barcelona. And I rewatched Barcelona because I was thinking, I'm going to get ready for Monaco, I'm going to redo my homework, have a little look at Barcelona, see how everyone did. And he managed to get in the way, aggravate, annoy, and on the radio get criticism in every single session. So FP1 we'll start with, where obviously he spun out, and Charles Leclerc was sort of getting ready to do a fast lap. Then the yellow flags came out because Nikita Mazepin managed to ditch it in the gravel. And of course, Leclerc says Mazepin will never change after he crashed out. So he's frustrated Leclerc there, but hasn't really got in his way. He's just sort of annoyed him in free practice. That's fair enough. Sometimes these things happen in free practice. But then we move into free practice 2, just a few hours later. And of course, when Kimi Räikkönen is coming out of the pit lane, Nikita Mazepin decides to literally just cut in front of him. Just cut in front of him in the pit lane. You can see there that Kimi is more than happily just getting ready to go onto the track, and Nikita Mazepin just jumps in front of him. And classic Kimi, he says absolutely nothing, just gives a cold stare to Nikita Mazepin, and then drives around him, still in the pit lane, overtakes him whilst in the pit lane. It is beautiful, beautiful to see. And it is classic Kimi Räikkönen. You can just tell underneath that helmet, he is seething, but you will never see it on his face. It is incredible, incredible stuff from Kimi Räikkönen. So that's free practice 1, free practice 2. Let's get the hat trick then, free practice 3. And Lance Stroll put it quite well, I think, with this gesture here. So he's coming around the last few bends, 13, 14, and of course Mazepin is on the left-hand side of him. Mazepin sees him coming and just turns into him. Doesn't cut him up fully, but just turns in enough that Stroll has to really sort of brake and give up a little bit of speed going around those final few corners, just because Nikita Mazepin is edging a little bit closer than would really be like to see. And Lance Stroll put it fairly well, and also said that Nikita Mazepin has no idea what he is doing. And so again, lots of the drivers seem to think that Nikita Mazepin just has literally zero idea how to actually race at this point, which is incredible considering he is in the top 20 drivers in the world, you could argue, in one of those Formula One seats. Absolutely astounding. And as I said, he's hit the hat trick there. Free practice 1, free practice 2, free practice 3. But you'd think, thank goodness, he's got it out of the way in free practice, right? At least now we can go into qualifying, go into the race at Barcelona, and he's got those little errors out of his system. No, you'd be absolutely wrong. So Lando Norris is obviously trying to set a fast lap in Q1, and we know that Lando Norris didn't qualify overly well, only getting 9th place. But you've got to remember, Lando Norris was on a bit of a tear at this moment in time. He'd qualified very, very well. He'd got himself a podium this season already. He was looking incredibly quick. So you can see the AlphaTauri there getting out of the way. There's also an Alfa Romeo just out of shot, getting out of the way. But Nikita Mazepin, as you might see, is just on the apex of the corner there, where Lando Norris is very, very likely to want to be in sort of 0.3 seconds time. And Lando Norris just screams in frustration as he goes through turn 13, 14 and 15 in Barcelona. Just incredibly annoyed with Lando. Incredibly annoyed with Mazepin is Lando that he can't even put it into words. Just screams at him at this point. Because he's effectively tried to ruin his qualifying one. Lando then has to set another lap, and it just doesn't seem to go well for Lando since then. And I do blame Nikita Mazepin as someone who wants Lando Norris to do really well. So I think now we're at the point where he's 4 from 4. And everyone at this point is thinking, well, surely he's going to make it 5 from 5. He's going to be in the race. If he's in the race long enough, surely he's just going to annoy somebody. And he's probably picked the worst person to possibly annoy on the track, in that it was Lewis Hamilton as he was trying to pass him under blue flags. Again, the blue flags just don't resonate with Mazepin. He is just not sure what blue flags really mean, I don't think. So going into the race, into Sector 3, the blue flags are out. And Hamilton has to follow Mazepin throughout the whole sector, all the way down to the pit straight before he can get past Mazepin. That is insane. And this is at the point where Hamilton is looking to try and make a difference, try and catch Max Verstappen. Last time out, there was a real battle between Mercedes and Red Bull. We saw that the strategy came into play, and Nikita Mazepin nearly destroyed that strategy by just getting in the way for an entire sector in front of Hamilton. To the point where not only Hamilton got annoyed with him, screaming blue flags at him as if he could hear him from cockpit to cockpit, just screaming, why is he not moving out of the way because of these blue flags? But also got Toto Wolff on the radio, literally to the FIA, saying, Michael, this guy makes us lose the position. And then we don't hear the rest of that sentence, but I don't imagine it goes well for Nikita Mazepin in the eyes of Toto Wolff. So that is every single session at Barcelona. He managed to get in the way of 5 different drivers and try and ruin their weekend, try and mess up their weekend in some way. So overall, if we have George, Tsunoda, and all of those incidents, that is 10 out of the other 19 drivers on the grid that in 3 races he's got in the way of, annoyed, and had to be radioed in that he is in the way. It's amazing. I don't know if any driver has ever got this poor a record. I would love to know in the comments down below if you can think of a driver that has been more controversial in their first 3, 4 races, if you're being kind. Like, I guess he did do the free practices and stuff at Bahrain, so we should maybe give it to him. But if a driver has ever been this contentious in just 4 races. And now we're moving into Monaco. Monaco, known for having really narrow corners, known for having walls very, very close to the track. It's just not going to go well for him. He is going to cause absolute mayhem, and I'm sure that there are going to be more drivers added to this list of 10, even if it's those drivers again. I'm sure that's going to be added to this list of 10 already, but I would love to know your opinion of Mazepin so far this season in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you could leave a like, that would be absolutely amazing. Obviously, as I said at the beginning, I will be live for the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. We will be discussing everything Monaco, Saturday for qualifying and Sunday for the race. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time.